How's it going, everybody? Welcome again to the Pluricast. I don't know if that's what we're calling it or not, but two dudes talking about Pluribus. It's that time of the week. We just watched episode 3 of season 1, Grenade, and with me, as always, is my good friend Tremor. Say hello.
Hello.
And yeah, well, I just want to ask you, what did you think? And then we'll just go from there.
Yeah. I really liked this episode. Similarly to the first 2 episodes, it ended way sooner than I would have liked. It felt very fast. This episode had some very interesting, not themes, but it took some very interesting turns for me. And I'd say it definitely changed where I think the show is going. But yeah, I really enjoyed this episode.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, man. I liked the beginning, getting to see more of Helen and Carol's relationship. That was really cool. And of course, like, just getting to see more of this absurd situation that Carol's in, and I think what's really cool about these first 3 episodes now is it's almost like very quickly they are getting through all of the different questions that the viewer would more than likely have about, okay, well, I mean, obviously at the end of season 1, or not season 1, but at the end of episode 1, that's like the big one where they like pretty much lay out everything for the most part. And then episode 2 is like, oh, well, what about the other people? And then now we know about the other people. And then at the beginning of this episode, after the teaser, they're like, okay, well, what about the other people that don't speak English? And it's like, oh, now we know about them. So, yeah, I love how quickly they're sort of just like cutting through all these potential viewer questions and expectations to deliver us something that we don't even really understand yet. And I think that really, I mean, look, it was Better Call Saul's biggest strength. It's this show's biggest strength. Once again, another week has gone by, and I have no fucking idea where they're going with this show. It's awesome. I love that I don't know. So yeah, I mean, I in terms of like things that really stood out to me, I mean, of course, you know, the fucking, like, water's wet, whatever. The filmmaking is incredible. Like, genuinely, they continuously find really unique ways to frame the subject, like in between, like, different spaces. Like the blocking techniques in this episode were off the charts. And overall, like, I love the absurdity of Carol, like, just being given a grenade. And
the absurdity of the shopping sequence, to be honest.
Yeah, and the absurdity of being like, oh, if I wanted an atom bomb, you'd just give it to me. And they're like, yup. Like, it's so interesting. So, I think what I love about this show so far, and again, it was the same way with Better Call Saul, of course, but like, a big thing that I really love what they're doing with this show is they're planting seeds, and I can see them planting these seeds. And if you haven't seen Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad, there's a good chance that people might have watched this episode and felt like it was filler. And to those uninitiated, oh, you sweet summer child. So I think with this episode, once again, they are planting more seeds of ideas and concepts and themes. I want to go back and analyze this a bit more. Of course, this is just our raw reactions and discussions, but I would really like to go back and look into, like, what episodes of the Golden Girls, like, was she watching? Like, what were the names of those episodes that she watched? And like, I want to listen back to the dialogue that they mentioned. I mean, obviously, one thing, like, that I picked up on was, like, Betty White's character talking about, like, this person not being able to smile, and then like, they rack focus over to fucking Carol not being able to smile.
Most miserable person on Earth.
Yep, yeah. There's a lot of really great filmmaking techniques in here, as you would expect from the show. And yeah, I there's a lot to chew on there. What stood out to you? And what are some things you're chewing on?
Yeah, so I think, I mean, the whole episode, every episode always stands out to me in full, to be honest. But some things that really I kind of really focus on is I am very interested in the dynamics between Carol and us, the virus, if you will. I'll just refer as us. I am very intrigued by it because the first 2 episodes of this show, where I kind of imagined the show going, is, of course, the virus, the collective, is poised as, a very evil, antagonistic force for Carol to triumph over and defeat and kill. But to be honest, what I imagined is, and more so after this episode, if I'm honest, but I think it will go in a different way, is this kind of understanding between both Carol seeking to understand how this virus thinks, how its collective consciousness, how it thinks, and the consciousness itself, which is what really interests me, the consciousness itself coming to understand humanity through Carol.
Yeah.
That really intrigues me, and I hope, I would like to see it go that way, but that's just a personal thing. If it doesn't go that way, honestly, it's fine, because I have full faith in these writers. Whatever they write, it's gonna be intriguing, interesting, and well done. So, but yeah, I'm very intrigued by their dynamic, and I kind of, part of me really is holding out hope for this collective consciousness to seek to understand humanity, and when the time comes that, this is a bit theory crafting, sorry.
Sure, no, go for it, absolutely.
My hope is, like, I don't know, it'd be cool if when the time comes that they figure out how to, forcibly infect Carol and the 12 other survivors, maybe by that point, things will have happened, and the virus no longer seeks to, it overcomes its biological imperative, as it said, because we all have that innate desire to survive. That's what that is for this virus. And it'd be cool if it overcomes its own biological imperatives to survive and chooses to see, wait, this is actually beautiful what these people have, the ability to choose and to be individuals, who they are. Yeah, and it would be cool if the virus itself comes to see that and chooses not to fight this anymore. I would love to see that. Yeah. I think that'd be a twist on this whole apocalyptic thing, where it's not just evil force that must be triumphed over by a main character.
Right.
I think that'd be so interesting.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more subtlety and sort of like grander thematic storytelling that can be told through this. I mean, like, there's so much to dig into, like, especially like thematically what it's saying, but also I really love just like the classic sense of like the Chekhov's gun rule. Like when they sit down at that table and the hand grenade's sitting there, it's like, okay, you would be like really annoyed if that grenade doesn't go off by the end of this conversation.
It is gonna be used.
Yeah, like and little things like that, and I think honestly, like this team's usage of Chekhov's gun is like their biggest strength. Obviously, I look back to, of course, Better Call Saul, where those whole 5.5 seasons is all a series of Chekhov's guns like loading, and then you get to the episode in season 6, and all of the Chekhov's guns fire off at once like a firing squad, and it's like, oh, here, everything's coming to a head. All of this that's been set up, here it is. So I feel like there's probably some Chekhov's guns that have been loaded here that we haven't noticed yet, and we probably won't even know the ramifications of those Chekhov's guns until we get to the end of the series. And that kind of patient storytelling is so like is so enthralling to me. In general, I'm just really curious to see what people's thoughts are in this episode, because like I can definitely tell. Like, there are gonna be people that will see this and think it's filler, which breaks my brain. But
especially early on in the episode, a seed is planted that to me is not even subtle at all. And again, not subtle, or well, not again. I'm going to say this: not subtle doesn't mean bad.
Yeah.
Like you can make something be very on the nose, and it can be it still is well done. But the seed planted in question, literally, Carol speaking to the man from Paraguay who doesn't speak English, like. That in tandem with her face that she makes at the end of the episode, that is not a subtle seed. We're obviously going to make contact with that man eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And like the table setting that is happening in this episode, it is not any way filler. I don't even understand how you could reach that conclusion.
Yeah. No, it's definitely not. I think people will just come to that conclusion just because they're like, oh, there's nothing crazy happening like in the first two episodes.
Yeah,
and it's a shame that people will think that, but you know, what I will say to people that might have felt that way is, if this is your first rodeo, just know that everything's intentional, and there will be there will be a grander point. If you don't believe me, watch Better Call Saul, watch Breaking Bad.
It's all gonna be okay in the end.
Yes,
trust them.
It'll be okay. A big thing I always say is trust the writers, right? Trust the creators. I say this with anything, especially with creators that are very well regarded. Like if it's just some like Joe Schmo, like, you know, obviously have some reservations, but like with a well regarded group of creatives like this, I always just say trust the creators, let them cook, and I'm sure we'll be in for some special shit. And I mean, in my opinion, we already are getting some special shit.
Very much, yes.
I mean, on a technical level, I mean, you can just tell, like, Vince and that team, like, the whole team is using every dollar that Apple gave them to their fullest amount.
Yes.
Like there's so much ingenuity on display from, like, how they introduce a character to a scene. Like, I remember that scene where the guy was walking up at the end of the episode in the hospital, and they start with a reflection of the floor and then turn it, and like they don't even the way that they introduce a character into a scene, like little things like that, are just really incredible. And like because you don't have to do that. Like, you can just show them walking up or do something else. But I think what these little like cinematic touches do is they give you this grander sense of, I don't want to say unease, but almost just like this very alien feeling. Like it's almost like you're watching. It's like you're looking in on something that you shouldn't be seeing. It's almost like you're sort of you're a part. You're viewing this as a spectator. Kind of
it's
thing.
like you're an intruder almost. Like, you're not supposed to be able to see this, but you are.
And to that point, I think back on that shot where like Carol's on the plane, and they frame her face between the seat cushions. It's almost like we're a kid peeking through the seat cushions at someone, like listening in on someone's conversation, like we're not supposed to. So it gives this like grander sense as a viewer that you're watching something that you shouldn't be in a sense. And I don't know. I think that, and in tandem with the wacky tone balancing and the writing and the performances. I also gotta say the music in this episode was great.
Yes, that shopping sequence and at the end of the episode, to be honest. But that shopping sequence and the music that plays as that beautiful montage starts.
Yeah, we got our first montage of the series.
Oh, I love me some montages by Vince Gilligan and any team associated with him.
Yes, they're incredible. I have to say, I believe, because I know Gordon Smith wrote Chicanery and Bagman. I don't know if he's ever directed any episodes before. I think this might have been his first directorial debut.
He did great.
Yeah, he did great.
It was amazing.
Yeah, I'll have to fact check that, but yeah, I mean, on a filmmaking level, on a technical level, flawless. I really loved just. I think for me, another thing with a show like this, I love getting to see the quieter moments.
Yes.
Because if your show or any story is just bang, 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 bang all the time, then you don't ever really get a chance to actually get to, like, care as much about the world because we don't get to see it in a more low-key environment. Getting to see Carol do little things like going shopping or, like, watching the Golden Girls and stuff, like, that to me, it can be just as exciting as a big action set piece.
As a grenade exploding, right?
Yeah, that can be. And that grenade exploding, if that just happened, like, in a conversation that we didn't care about, then we'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But when that grenade goes off, it actually has more emotional weight because we spent the whole episode building to that. Because in a lot of ways, that grenade, I just thought of this, that grenade in a lot of ways symbolizes, like, how Carol feels. That's why she said that joke to Zosha in the first place, was that, like, she basically just feels like a grenade that's going to go off at any time because, you know, of her anger issues and everything.
Yeah.
And who can blame her, especially in this scenario?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Something I really love about this episode and what they did with Carol's character. Like you just said, with, you know, the subtle, silent even moments being just as, if not more effective than these big bombastic moments. In the very beginning of the episode, what starts the intro is these final moments in that scene with her and Helen as she's looking up at the lights. And it's just silence. It's just the light is reflecting in her eyes. Just that, I feel, says so much about her. And I find it so interesting. I love that the tagline for her is she's the most miserable person on Earth. And but we see here, it's not just because of the apocalypse that's happened. She was a bit of a miserable grouch even before all this. Like, even with Helen in the happy years, she's a bit of a grouch. Yeah. And I kind of like that we get to see that. Like, you know, in the supermarket, when she says she's very independent and she wants to do things her own way and by herself, she clearly has had a bit of a rough go of it for life. And it's resulted in her being very kind of, you know, closed off and very untrusting and unpleasant to people except the ones she cares about. And I don't know, I like that we're seeing more into who she is because just so many more things make sense, including how she treats the collective here. Yeah. It's not just the apocalypse. This is just kind of who Carol has become just as a person.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see how she gets out of that rut as a person. I think, and again, this kind of goes back to what we said in the last Pluribus talk, was like talking about this idea of, like, this show doesn't have, it's so different from the other shows that Vince has done because there's not a lot of characters. It's just it's Carol and us, and the collective. It's Carol and the collective. And
then the few kind of free humans she meets along the way, sure. But yeah, it's mostly us, the collective, and Carol. Yeah. And it's so, yeah, it just fascinates me. And at the end of the episode, clearly Carol, you know, had a bit of a light bulb moment for, like, I like that she, as well as us, the audience, but I like that she got to see this episode, the extent of which this collective, what they will do for her.
Dude, wait.
Like,
I just thought of it.
They'll do anything, literally anything, and I like that she is figuring that out. And she's like, ooh.
Yeah, if she realized that, can you imagine if if our theory from last time came true and she's like, I want to go to fucking space.
Oh, dude.
Can you imagine? I'd shit myself.
Oh, man. Oh. What if the answer isn't talking to the Paraguay man? It's, I'm going to talk to the aliens who sent this goddamn signal in the first place.
I wonder if they will ever... Look, I will say this. Regarding the alien signal, I am down for either approach, whether they ever want to answer that or if they never want to talk about it again.
Yeah.
Either way is fine.
Because it works. It works as is. If they leave it as just, hey, here's an alien signal and scientists turned it into a biological threat, that's fine. It can stay like that, and I don't need it to be turned into we're talking to aliens.
Yeah.
But if they go that way, Oh, I'm so down.
Oh,
I'm like
100%.
on the train. That would be great.
I'm down for whatever they do. It's basically it's another week of I'm down for whatever the fuck they want to do.
Absolutely.
And I'm just here for the ride. As long as I get to see some cool character moments and some cool filmmaking, that's why I'm here. And yeah, it was another week of just great filmmaking and great writing. There's so much. I could tell, especially, I think even more so, because, I mean, Gordon Smith's just an incredible writer anyway. So I think the big thing I can give this episode, absolutely, is I think this episode, even more so than the first two, I think has a lot more subtlety and narrative meat to chew on. There's a lot of things I can't wait to see what the community sort of like digs up and pieces together.
Yes.
I cannot wait to see what people sort of like dig through. Like I said, I want to look into like what episodes of the Golden Girls was she watching? Like what little things like that. Like I'm just so curious. Like I like because these filmmakers, they're not like nothing they do is by accident. They're an incredibly intentional like group of people. Like if you go back and you watch like the behind the scenes or like bloopers of I believe it was season 5 of Better Call Saul, they did like 100 takes of dropping a fucking license plate onto the sand to get it right.
Yes.
Like they literally did 100 takes of that. These guys are perfectionists. And nothing they do is by accident.
I guarantee you, Satchel, with my life savings, and that's not much, I'd bet everything I've got on the fact that in that supermarket, the overhead shot with all of the stocks back in there, and I guarantee that watermelon like basket, that was rearranged several times. They were just like, all right, stop. Let's turn this watermelon here in the supermarket just 90 degrees to the left.
Dude, there was a moment in this episode. There was a moment in this episode. I forgot where it was. I'll have to go back and look at my reaction. But there was a moment in the episode where I saw one shot and I was like, they definitely did that like 20 times. Like I could just tell by the way it was set up. I was like, they did that like 20 times. I know they did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I like this was just really fun to chew on. If we had a little more time, I would love to like say more about it. But honestly, I feel like, I mean, do you have any other thoughts or anything else you want to bring up out of curiosity?
I mean, in summary, I suppose about this episode, something for shows of any kind, all series, that I kind of have grown to look out for is you can have an exceptional pilot and maybe even an exceptional second episode, but eventually the high of a show beginning is going to wear off. And so these first kind of few episodes into the show, like episode 3, 4, 5, those are integral because it becomes, can the show survive the high of, ooh, it's brand new and we've never seen it before? And I think they did really well with this first episode because the first two episodes, it's the apocalypse beginning. It's, of course, going to be exciting inherently. Yeah. Second episode, we're meeting human survivors. That is inherently exciting. But this episode, that high kind of wore off, I feel, of it's not just, oh yeah, apocalypse, it's crazy. No, it had to ride on its own coattails, and it did that exceptionally. And I'm very happy to say that it did.
Yes.
I like when a show can survive that kind of initial excitement and just ride on its own merits. And episode 3, this was great. I'm very happy. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. I'm another thing I thought of was like it in a lot of ways it felt like we're just kind of living with Carol through her grief.
Exactly. Yes.
Through her grief especially. I mean the episode literally opens up with a memory of her and Helen. Like
her and Helen, yeah.
So it feels like we're just kind of living with her through this moment of grief. And obviously the whole tagline of the show is like she needs to save the world from happiness, and I'm curious what that's gonna look like when we get to it. Like, is she gonna teach herself fucking chemistry and go Walter White in this bitch, or like
she might? Who knows?
Like what's gonna happen? I don't know, but I'm really looking forward to it. Regardless, I'm really looking forward to see how they just evolve this show and evolve this series. I'm just loving it, man. It's good. I mean, I got like no complaints whatsoever about this episode. I know some people are gonna complain that it's slow. Fucking grow up. Like that's all I gotta say.
People who hate season 1 of Better Call Saul, they just don't get it.
Yeah, exactly. No, and it's so funny because you go back to that season now after where it ended. It's like, oh, I get it.
It's one of my favorite seasons, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I love season 1.
Yeah, that's why I always just say, especially with this team, you just have to trust them and let them take their time. Like, exactly, it will be okay. And
it will be okay.
Just because there's nothing bombastic happening on screen does not mean there's anything like not worth digging at under the surface.
Yes,
and
absolutely
thinking about like on a broader level, which I think is when this team is at their best, is when you're not necessarily thinking about what is literally happening. You are also thinking about what it means.
Yes,
for the characters and for the themes. So yeah, those are my thoughts as well. I have like no complaints about this episode. I loved it. I liked how quiet it was and patient, and it honestly, this felt like I was watching Better Call Saul again.
It really
this episode more than the other two. Like the other two like were great, of course. Obviously, they're in god tier, incredible. One of the best pilots I've ever seen. Episode 2 is amazing. But this episode felt like I watched a Better Call Saul episode again, and in the best way possible. And I loved it. So that's really all I got to say.
The nitrous was turned off, and we just kind of coasted, and it was fucking great.
Yes, it was awesome. Anything else you want to add, or are we good to go?
I think that's it for me. I'm just... Make the episodes longer, Vince, please. I need more.
True, yes. Season 2, make every episode an hour, please.
Like, please. Take that from the Duffer Brothers. Make them hour-longs, please.
Please, dude.
Please.
All right, well, I think we'll call it there. That was a fun little conversation. I think I probably ended up putting something at the beginning of this video saying it, but if you do want to see my full-length reactions to this episode and any previous episodes, feel free to become a member to the channel, and you can check them out. It's only $3 a month. You get videos early, and you also get access to not just Pluribus reactions, but any movie or TV show that I watch for the first time. I'm just going to record them and throw them on there so people can see my reactions to them. So, yeah, feel free to check it out, and we will see you guys next week. Take it easy, everybody. Hey everybody, just popping in here at the end to say thank you to our members: Feed Me Pastry, Gome EXE, Lewis, Red Psy, Silky Whippy, Zobi, Alpha Kenny Asian, and Barbalith. Yes, another week, another Pluribus episode. I'm currently working on a video talking about video game remakes. I recorded the script last night, like the voiceover. Tonight I'm going to basically gather the footage, get it going, and then that will probably be uploaded this weekend is my guess. So yeah, that'll be up this weekend. It'll be out a little early for members. It actually might be out for members at the time of this video coming out. Maybe. Actually, no, it won't. But you know, it might be out. If you're a member, you might get access to the video. Anyway, yeah, if you want to become a member and get early access to videos, as well as see my reactions to Pluribus or any other thing I watch, feel free to become a member. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and take it easy, everybody.